Hey, welcome to JM Unleashed. It's March 19th, just about 4:25 p.m. Eastern. I see we've got Neil in the house here. Welcome in, Neil. We'll do a quick audio check, make sure the audio is good because I'm doing this on
Hey, welcome to JM
Oh, there we
Unleashed.
go.
It's March 19th.
Because I'm doing this on Restream. Yeah, that's really interesting. So, for anyone that just got here, the thumbnail was a bunch of tulips, and Neil's saying here, if you want to grow tulips in the south, you have to freeze the bulb for a few weeks. And same for the milkweed. Hey, Snooks, welcome in, Snooks. I know Snooks can never stick around very long, but that's okay. We love Snooks very much, and we always like to give her a hug. Thanks for the audio check. Yeah, Neil says he can't hear me at all. And so part of the reason I'm doing this live stream is just because it's such a beautiful day. I had a little bit of extra time, and I know Neil was saying that I'm overdue for doing an open panel. So I think what I might do here is I'll drop the link in for Neil. Um, yeah, it's okay, Snooks. Don't worry. Okay, so that link should work for you, Neil. If you want to join the panel, welcome in everybody. Just hanging out. The other day, a goose, sometimes known as Canada goose, showed up, just landed in the backyard, and if you landed in the exact same place, then this camera will catch it. This camera will pick it up. Just hold on a second, Neil. It says enter my name. Why should I enter my name when it's your profile thing?
Well, it told me to enter my name, so I said, okay, enter my name.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's being literal with the computer.
Yeah. I hear you. Hey, how come it doesn't show me on there? Oh, I know why.
Because you have a name.
It's because what I am on there is this main screen. That's why.
I got to figure out how to put some sort of cool picture up there.
Yeah, you should be able to. It's really similar to StreamYard. It's really
Ah,
similar
there
to
it is.
StreamYard.
Virtual background.
Yeah. So how is Mr. Niels Han Dynasty doing today?
Uh, yeah, okay.
Hanging in there?
Yeah. Uh, this is going to be a wild ride in the next month or so. I have a feeling that I'm just going to fall in the position where I should have already been, and I'm going to get lucky as hell as usual and come out the other end smelling like a rose.
Okay.
It's what I'm supposed to be good at with my name. She always said I had ESS PhD. And she said that meant bullshit, more shit, all higher.
So now I can promise you right now, Indy is not muting you at this time, but your audio
It's
seemed to
feedback, I hear it.
yeah is roboting a little bit.
Microphone array.
It's not an echo. Like it actually almost sounded like
It's like a
sounded like
feedback.
weak internet.
Is it a feedback?
Oh, Cheryl's. Oh, okay. There will be. Thank you, Cheryl. Hold on a second. We got to make sure we got echo cancellation turned on.
So it's you.
Yeah.
The yard looks different without no white snuff in it.
There we go. Let's see. That should be better now.
Yard looks better with no white shit in it.
You know what? I'm going to adjust this camera for you just for a second, just so you can see the very, very last of the snow. Even though you probably don't want to.
No, I don't. I really don't. Some soggy ground.
Not much left. And the only reason that pile is there, that little pile, is because that's the main pile that I was shoveling from the deck, off the deck to the ground. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Appreciate that. Greatly appreciated. I'm pretty sure that camera will still pick it up if the Canada Goose shows up again. Just beyond the fence line there is all water. It's it's like a swampy zone. So usually in the spring we get a bunch of ducks will come flying in and land in there until it dries up later in the spring. What do you got going on there?
It's a Zeus micro nuclear power plant that you can fit in the back of a truck.
Oh, gotcha.
I've done several stories. Nano Nuclear Energy owns Zeus, and there's this other one that starts with a C. I don't recall the name of it right off the bat. They just acquired it, and yeah, they're going to be the Tesla of the energy market. So, if you can get it for like $26 or $27 a share right now, my God, pick yourself some up, because in about 2 to 3 years, it's going to be $400 to $500 a share. Because they are like taking, there's still regulations got to come out from Idaho, where they've got the nuclear regulatory agency working with them, and they're fast tracking the system. So that ought to let you know what's up with that company. The American Federal Nuclear Regulatory Agency is fast tracking this.
Well, it's interesting. I was listening to some local news here a week or so ago, and they were talking about in northern Canada, Pierre Poilievre flew up the, I think, Northwest Territories, and he was talking about really ramping up these micro nuclear reactors up there.
Oh yeah, that's because there's so many mines are going to open up in the next 2 to 3 years, dude.
Yeah, and to help existing populations, and even help increase the population.
It actually saves them money by getting micronuclear if it's a population, because right now what they've got to rely on is basically diesel deliveries to remote locations in the wintertime in the far north.
For generators.
Oh, for their generators. But the delivery of fuel is expensive. Generators break down, a lot of things can happen. That truck right there, the micronuclear reactor is actually only about half the size of that truck bed. It's not the full size. It's like probably bigger than a Ford Ranger in size. Is how big that micro reactor is. And you can turn it off. You can turn it on and turn it off. It's not like these big ones that we were sold as kids that it takes 72,000 years to turn on and turn off. Now that's only if you upsize it. If you downsize it, the exact opposite thing happens. It has redundant safeties that are just there because it's the way physics works. You don't have a problem if you upscale it. If you downscale it, it becomes safer.
Gotcha. Hey there, Michigan Outpost. Good to see Michigan Outpost. Welcome in. We're just hanging out here.
I heard like some villains.
Yeah, I heard a bunch of Harleys flying by earlier. We had a goose land in the backyard the other day. There's a rabbit that's kicking around. And the little dogs are probably going to come out for a couple minutes in a bit too. So I just thought it's so nice, and I had an extra hour or so to kill. Snooks wants to know why I sound like Neil. Well, Mister Enter My Name is Neil.
Yep. Enter my name. That's me.
I gotta tell you, it's time to hydrate here. I got a nice ice cold carbonated water, also known as club soda. Mm. And I got a coffee going still.
Yeah, I'm out of tea. I need to make some more. No, I got another sip. Now I'm out.
So yeah, I'm open to having other people up on the panel here too. If anyone else wants to join, just let us know. It'll only be people that I know though, because I don't really feel like getting this live stream porn bombed very much.
Oh, come on, man. That always stimulates the algorithm.
You know what? Truth is, it really doesn't bother me personally. It's it's just that
It's the image it presents with your name on it.
I didn't set it to age restricted, and I know some of my subscribers are younger. For example, my nephews and niece, and that would not be cool, right? That would not be age appropriate. So. Look at this. Snooks is getting competitive.
Yeah, well, we'll never know because she never comes up on panels. So
I've seen her. I've seen her on a few panels recently.
nah, she sounds like a girly girl.
I don't know. I was gonna say I thought she has a very sweet voice.
I'll rile her up enough. She might come up here.
A little bit of a Florida accent.
Florida.
Florida.
Florida. So
Yeah.
you're saying she sounds Cuban?
Florida. Yeah, there is a lot of Cubans in Florida.
Of course
And
there is. We had a
Take
mass migration of them sons of bitches in the 50s and the 80s.
Take Two is saying that Neil's projected to win. Oh my
Of course
goodness!
I
Look at
am.
that. He's taken over my stream.
See, I'm just a winner, man. It's a thought process. It's a wave. It's a frequency. It's a vibration. It's an energy. You get on it. Soon the wave gets so big, people just fucking are enveloped by it. It's positivity, man.
Snick's only 17 3/4. She's underage, right?
I don't know how tall is that.
I think she's talking about age.
I know, but also know she's lying. So
See you later, Snooks. Adios. Have a good day. Let's switch this back. We'll switch it back here.
she's going to the bar. Show your ID.
Yeah, in the States, I think most states you got to be 21, don't you?
I have no idea. I don't drink, so I don't care. I learned a long time ago what it does to your brain, and I don't like that because I also learned a long time ago that your brain cells are the only cells in your body that don't replicate.
Yeah, they can't replenish themselves.
Yeah, so if you kill them, they're dead and you're dumb. And drinking, basically, you get your alcoholic buzz that you get, and the reason why you have a hangover is it's your brain cells exploding. And that's why you have a hangover, because you killed too many brain cells. The cool thing is they never come back.
Well,
So when you
it-
blow
it-
those brain cells up, you just got dumber.
I think a big part of the hangover is dehydration too, because most alcohol.
Well, yeah, that's
There you go.
a secondary to the main damage. That's a symptom of the problem.
Yeah.
Your brain synapses pathways disappeared, blew up, and your brain has to discover new pathways, and that takes a lot of energy. And you get dehydrated because you're consuming poison rather than water for a long period of time, and your body's desiring a cleansing fluid to flush that shit out.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah, well, you can research it yourself if you can do a quick Google search and find out in alcohol poisoning deaths or when you drink yourself to death, what position do they always find the body? No matter where in the world you are, no matter what country you are, no matter how big or how short, how tall, how fat, man, woman, they always find someone who dies of alcohol poisoning in the fetal position. That's interesting, isn't it?
It is. I remember you telling me that a few
Uh-huh.
years ago.
That's because your brain, if you die from alcohol poisoning, and it's literally alcohol poisoning, that means your brain has exploded to the point where the only synapses pathways you have left before your heart started, you were in a fetal form inside the womb. So you go back to that form, and then before that, you didn't have a heartbeat, and that's the last thing your brain remembers is not having a heartbeat while in fetal form. So you die in a fetal form because you literally regressed your brain back to pre-life.
Yeah. Hey, Emerald, welcome in. I think Emerald is Emerald Coast Stalker, is it not? I think just
Yeah, he has to be. He knew who I was by my voice.
Yeah. Good to see you, Emerald.
Enter my name. I thought it was kind of clever.
It is clever. I've put your profile picture in the bottom right hand corner there.
Oh, I don't care. You can take it off. I don't care.
Well, I'll leave it there, but like if there's anything that you wanted to show or share, then I'll put it up to the larger thing. I just want to make sure if a goose lands in the backyard,
Oh yeah,
if the bunny rabbit starts hopping around, that we capture it.
most definitely.
I'm actually surprised we don't see any squirrels yet, but they're around too.
As soon as you get a camera out,
Mm-hmm.
they'll never come out with a camera.
Exactly. I tend to agree. So it's neat. Give it another 3 or 4 months, and you'll hardly be able to see any of the traffic out there.
Yeah, it's all the greenery.
Yeah.
Also, knock down that noise.
Yeah. A little bit. It's still really. The noise still really envelops the whole area. I don't know if you guys can see off to the right of the picture there. You can see there's a laundry line, and the right vertical post on that laundry line, just to the right of that, there's a decent size. It's like a 6-foot branch that skewered the ground, and it's leaning to the left at about a 45-degree angle. I might actually go out there and throw it over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of left it there, but that came down in the windstorm that we had 3 or 4 days ago. I'm actually going to go clean that up right now. You'll see it. Oh, we got the dogs out here too.
Sweet. What's up, Shadow? Actually, I should say Shadow Works because I have a cat named Shadow, and I don't think I'm talking to him. So while JM's away and I have full use of the mic and no one can mute me, I'll go ahead and say, if you guys got like extra $50 hanging around, I would look at throwing it into a certain cryptos. And obviously, it's too late if you haven't done any research. But if you look at like throw $50 at maybe a ZBCN or XCN or DGB, I think you'll be surprised if you keep watching it daily over the next 6 to 8 weeks. That $50 might turn into several $100 in a heartbeat. That's not financial advice, but then you take that money and you buy silver with it, and then silver's going to take off and go into the 3 figures. Then you sell that, housing crash is going to come along and use all that extra money to buy a house. He's telling you the tree limb fell off the tree, and it's about 7 to 8 foot, 7 foot, 7.5 foot. Because I know that little dog didn't carry it into the yard. I have not heard of that one. Is that a crypto? ACK? Let's see if he picks the dog up and throws the dog up over the fence. Look at that. He's going to pick the dog up and throw the dog over the fence. What did I tell you, people? Watch this. He's going to pick it up and throw him. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, right on. Good work, Shadowworks. That's almost 10x. What's up, B. Taylor?
Hey, B. Taylor, Shadowwork, Count Trumpula. Anyone else I missed?
I was not talking shit about you at all, JM.
No worries. Now that little dog's come into the smoke shack with me here. But you should have been able to see that stick was...
yeah, I was going to tell you how I narrated over. I said, yeah, JM's showing us a stick that fell in the yard. It's about 7.5 foot long. He's now throwing over the fence. Now he's coming back and picking up the dog. He's going to throw the dog over the fence. And then you opened up your arms and went down the dog. It was perfect. It was great narration for a lie. I cracked myself. Oh, that's a picture of me about 15 years ago when I was actually a professional photographer.
I was going to say, who's that young fella there?
Yeah, I was getting paid to take pictures back then and do iron work.
Right on. Okay, I didn't know you were into photography.
Oh, dude, man. Yeah. I was into photography.
Right
Let's
on.
see. I'll get a, let's see, plus. Where's the plus? I like.
Jeffrey, good to see you. We got 79 in the house. Welcome in.
Oh, no, not 79.
Yes, the one and only.
I prefer to call her 78.5.
Yeah, I'm just gonna switch this back again. I gotta.
Yeah, do that.
Cause this little dog's got to go pick up her mom from work. Okay, so she's off to the races. Were you wanting to share a screen?
No.
Okay. It's they've changed the layout in Restream here, so I was trying to look. I thought you were trying to share a screen. I'm like, where is
Nope.
it?
Nope.
Okay.
Not me.
Yes, Jeffrey, who's in the house right now, I know he does live streams He was doing a lot of live streams at sunset. Um, he's East Coast in the States. Jamestown, right? There's Jeffrey Jamestown, baseball commissioner. If you guys want to check out Jeffrey's channel, he does live streams too. And of course, everyone knows Neil does. However, I got to tell you, I noticed it didn't seem like you had a live stream the last couple weeks on your regular Sunday nights.
I did not.
Hey, David.
After I get a strike, I take some time off.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, it was live stream was taken down during the live stream like 2 weeks ago.
And was that for copyright or was it?
Hell if I know. They just delete it and say whatever they want to legalize them in their mind to be able to delete it. It could be anything. I was giving out medical information, and that typically does it. So last time they told me it was the WHO, so it was probably them again this time as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I get disheartened.
No doubt. And thanks, Emerald has dropped the link for Jeffrey's channel. Did you see Shadowworks comment there, Neil?
It's shit. Just with the XRP in it and the silver, it's like fucking. I don't know, what is XRP at now? It keeps going up and down.
Yeah, it had a good day. It had a good day today again. I'll be able to tell you in a second.
I'll put it this way: I know of people that have tried to get rid of them for $2,500 a piece, and I there's no way in hell I'd sell it for that much. But thank you. What's up, Indy? Oh, by the way, that picture, if you can tell, there's actually a butterfly underneath the sun in between the two flowers.
XRP was up 9.9% today. It's up to 248.
So 250. So yeah, it'd be 280 in just XRP and silver weight.
Hey, Andy, good to see you. Happy Wednesday, everybody. And we got Brian Griffin in the house. One of my favorite characters from Family Guy.
No, Emerald, she actually makes fun of me when I talk about precious metals in her chats. I'm lying. She doesn't. She just doesn't like listening to it.
Yeah, it depends on how you define stacker. But I wouldn't be surprised if Indy stacks all sorts of SHTF type things. That would not surprise me at all. And so, what were you saying about your profile picture here?
Have fun at the beach, Jeffrey. I just wanted to show you the butterfly. You can see all its legs and everything.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty cool picture of a butterfly in between the flowers with the sun and whatnot.
Good one. Oh, and look at that. So that is your real name too.
What?
Brian Griffin. That's even more cool. That's right on. We've got Bill 457 in the house. Welcome in, Bill. We're just hanging out. I've got Niels Han Dynasty in the house. Right here. His profile name is saying enter my name. Because it prompted him to enter his name, so he's like, oh, okay.
It's pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one.
Let me switch it again. There we go. The other really cool thing with a Restream, for anyone that's only streamed on StreamYard, is right at the top on the StreamYard panel, there's a chat overlay button whereby you can press
oh, sweet.
Overlay, right? And then anyone that's watching on their TV or doesn't have the chat open, it actually pushes it right out on the screen. The only thing that it really messed me up for a little while was, unlike the chat on YouTube where the newest comments show up at the bottom, uh, here on the overlay, the newest comments show up at the top, which can discombobulate one if they're not aware of that. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. So usually when I do the words games, I stream that on StreamYard just because I'm more familiar with it and less likely that I'll hit the wrong button. Because I'm on the free plan, I'm limited to hours. So usually when I do other, not always, but usually when I do additional live streams, I do that on Restream. And it helps me kind of come back to speed. And Restream actually switches up their stuff more than StreamYard more frequently, from what I can tell.
It is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry to hear that that you got that strike, Neil.
It's all good.
That's like I'm surprised because I have pushed the limits, and tested the limits several times on my channel. I've never got a strike, so I'm just gonna knock on some wood, and hopefully I don't. But
Yeah, just don't talk about medical shit. You'll probably be fine.
you know what, shadow work? Right now I could be monetized. Like I've got the hours, the subscribers, and all that sort of thing. But it already ticks me off that YouTube frequently serves up ads and commercials during my videos, before my videos, and I don't want commercials and ads coming through, especially when I'm live streaming the words game or anything like that. So because I'm not really looking at it as a income stream at this point, but like I do see, if I could get up to 100,000 subscribers, and when I drop a video, if I was getting 10 or 15,000 views on it, then I might just start running a banner along the bottom with PayPal or something like that. I don't like the fact that YouTube takes 30%. To me, that's really steep. But I appreciate the encouragement, Shadowwork, and the sentiment. The other thing too is because I'm not monetized, I don't really care if I get copyright claims and stuff like that. Whereas anyone that's monetized, as soon as they get monetized, they almost instantly become a lot more sensitive to that, because YouTube is constantly scouring the content and monitoring their monetized channels for copyright issues. So I'm just opting out of the monetization at this point. But you never know. Stay tuned. I do have a PayPal account. If I was super tight on cash, I might start advertising it. See if I could get some extra cash come in. But I've had people just reach out to me and say, JM, I've got a little something for you here, and they'll send me stuff in the mail of tremendous value sometimes, and I don't need to be monetized for that, so that's great. 30% is really steep.
Yes, it is.
Even 10% is steep, but if it was only 10%, I'd be much more likely. Hey, Tales Told in the Dark is in the house. Welcome in, Tales Told in the Dark. Good to see you.
Yeah, Indy, you need to start monetizing. You should get some money coming in, bro.
Well, I think it's I think Indy's is kind of like semi-monetized in that she can get super chats and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can't get that.
But again, I just want to reiterate how frustrating I find it sometimes, not always, but if I'm over at a friend's place, or even a customer's place, and I'm like, hey, did you watch this video that I pumped out. And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, let's cue it up. And I cue it up on their TV or for them or whatever. And first thing that happens is YouTube pumps out like a 1 minute unskippable ad. I'm like, what? Like, what is actually going on here? Because I'm not monetized. I won't see a nickel of that, and that's going to deter some people from watching the video, right? They're just going to say, oh, yeah, I was going to watch it, but if I've got to watch a 1 minute commercial first, I'm tight on time, right? But anyway, enough about my problems. I'm waiting for 79 to tell me to shut up and stop whining.
Quit whining like a little girl.
Mhm.
Oh, hey, I got some interesting news. My neighbor said what is it he said? It's either 4 or 5 albums he's putting out this year.
I'm really interested to see and hear that.
He does all kinds of fucking. Yeah, if you're in the music shit, you'd like him.
Yeah,
I make fun of him.
but you said he's more well known in Europe than he is.
And in big time in Japan and Australia too.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just actually a couple weeks ago they did 2 cities. They did London and Paris, and he had to fly over there, do those 2 cities, and fly back. He looked like shit when he got back. It's like a 13-hour flight. After doing 2 gigs in 2 big cities, having to take a flight like that, he was tore up.
And I totally forgot about that. Indie does have her first members-only live stream tonight. Anyone that's
Freaking advertiser, girl.
but I've been getting a little more forgetful these days. Look at this, we got Guardian Prepping in here. Welcome in, Guardian Prepping. I just gotta check because, yeah, I don't really know Guardian Prepping very well. But Guardian Prepping's got 1.89 thousand subscribers on only 200 videos.
1.8. Say that again. 1.8 thousand.
1.89 thousand subscribers. Let's see if I can share it.
That's 1,900.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, basically 1,900 subscribers, 200 videos.
It'd be
And
cool as hell if he's doing the butterfly stroke.
And I'm already subscribed. So I wonder if maybe the name just got changed. But that's very cool. The fact that I'm subscribed says to me, I'm going to give Guardian a wrench. Oh, and Brian Griffin doesn't have a wrench either. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to hand out a couple of wrenches here. There, Brian's got one.
So I take it that wasn't the picture of him fixing to do the butterfly stroke in the ocean. Because that was my best stroke when I was a swimmer, the butterfly stroke, and he was in perfect position other than this lower body.
Yeah.
He looked like the butterfly stroke he was doing, that motion.
I used to be a really good swimmer, but I would say I didn't really have any one style of swimming that was a whole lot more powerful. Probably front crawl would have been the best because I do the power kick at the same time.
Yeah, it's freestyle. And actually, the kick slows you down, bro.
Not the way I did it.
Watch the Olympic guys and see how they kick.
Yeah, I know they'll pull
most of them do upper body, and the kick is just a follow through local motion of the water's motion, and it's not really used for propellant much because of the amount of it. Just
energy.
When you get down to world record times, those guys don't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Do it on the butterfly.
Yeah, they'll kind of pull their legs together, put their feet right together, and point their toes.
And then that's it's aquadynamics. Your feet aren't really giving you that much push. And if you notice them when they're swimming, they kind of keep their fingers slightly apart, about an 1/8 inch apart, because it's hard for the water to push through there, and they can actually get more of a grip through the water with their fingers slightly opened rather than tight.
Yeah.
But that's, again, we're talking Olympic level shit. Not everyone, hardly anyone knows that stuff. And Michael Phelps, as a matter of fact, he was a pothead too. That suit he had on, it actually was a developed suit. It repels water like a dolphin's skin.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it actually gave him like 0.3 seconds faster, 0.03 seconds faster, because he was shedding water rather than it, the human skin.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of that. That's one thing I've not done in a long time is gone swimming.
Dude, they got this substance now. It's a powder substance. And they just developed it. Actually, it's a redevelopment from an old technology. And they break this thing down. It's like a foam sand, and you put it, you like just, like sand. You just throw it on your body, on your feet or whatnot, and you can step in water. Totally keeps you waterproof. And all the application is, it just sticks to you. You don't have to like rub it in or anything. It forms like a bubble secretion all over your skin.
Gotcha.
It's cool as shit, man. It makes it's weird to see. It's cool.
Hi, Katie. Sorry, I didn't see you when you first showed up. Welcome in, Katie. We got a
Yeah, that's my kitten Persia, and some random kitty cat from years ago. I've been taking care of street cats for a long time.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, there is a tiny little kitty in there. Here, let me just
Yeah, that's why I took it. Like,
there we go.
Persia usually wasn't friendly to other cats, but she was friendly to that little baby for some reason.
Yeah.
She was about 6 then.
Oh, is that ever cute? Great picture.
That was the only cat I ever had, and then when she died, all these others got dumped on me.
Oh.
And I can't say no to any animal, so.
Here, we'll switch that. It's good to see you, Shadow Work. Take it easy.
See you later, bro.
Enjoy the evening. If anyone else wants to join the panel, just let me know. You're more than welcome. Although I got to admit, I have a tough time once there's more than 3 or 4 people on a panel.
Oh, I'll step down if it's that much, man. I've already been up here long enough. So if it gets that crazy.
You're welcome to hang out. Welcome to hang out. Neil's always got good information. Just waiting.
It depends on the topic what I'll share.
In fact, I've got a feeling he can hardly wait for Indy's Friday night conversation panel. I got a feeling. Ooh. Oh, there we go. For anyone that doesn't know, Neil is also fantastic, not only with cats, dogs, and other animals, but bees.
This is when I was first developing my system. If you notice, and you probably can't, at the bottom, I built this whole thing, but I was still using the Langstroth style bottom, and there's a little piece of like a 3/8 by 3/8 inch wood that's like 11 inches long, and that's how the Langstroth system blocks up the opening to help protect the hive. And I noticed there was lots of issues with it, and that's where I came up with this. I developed that while I was learning my system. I actually ended up throwing those boxes away.
Okay.
Because now I use holes, little wine cork size holes, 3 of them, so that way you can control it. And actually, if you do the math, 3 1-inch round diameter holes breaks down almost the same entryway as the Langstroth way. It's just easier for the bees to defend.
Man, we got lots of people floating in and out
Yeah.
here. We've got Zeal Fender in the house. We've got Chessboard. Welcome in, Chessboard.
There's like indies crowds coming in here. I don't know. You do a lot of karaoke stuff too. It could be your crowd.
I used to. Yeah, I haven't been doing as much karaoke stuff recently.
Dude, I wish I had my freaking folder better on pictures. It is so unorganized. I got some real good shots of bees' tongues as they're eating honey. Ooh.
Okay. Looks like Guardian Prepping may want to join us. So here, let's drop that link again.
Ooh, there we go.
I don't think I've ever spoken.
Hey,
with
you guys
Guardian
know about
Prepping.
Fibonacci and the Fibonacci spiral and the Fibonacci they use for determining charts?
Yeah, yeah. And if you look at a sunflower, you can see the spiral. Well, in a lot of nature,
Here's
you
a picture
can.
of nature's Fibonacci.
Yeah. Yeah, Guardian Prepping, if you want to pop up, you're more than welcome. It's not StreamYard, it's a Restream, but it's pretty similar. Yeah, and Indy's in a lot of different communities. She's right. It's not just karaoke.
Yeah, she's in the dance movies too, I hear.
Thanks, Indy. Yeah, so like I'm sure I would have subscribed to Guardian Prepping probably from your channel, but didn't have a wrench. So let's bring up Guardian Prepping. Here we go. Welcome in, Guardian Prepping.
Hey, thanks for having me up on the panel. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are doing all right.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn your microphone up a bit on this end because it seemed a little quieter than everyone else's. Try again.
All right, that's perfect. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, thanks for having me up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, how's your day going?
It's good. Just got back. I work at a plant nursery. I got one of my kind of part-times as well. So just trying to get a lot of more education so I can maybe open my own one a little bit down the road. But yeah, it's a pretty good day. So went to work early this morning, and then after work went for a nice walk. Really enjoyed that. Otherwise, yeah, doing well.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I got out. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I do dog walking and dog sitting pet services for a living. And today was the first day where the little dogs didn't need to have a coat or a sweater on. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. Really nice to be outside.
It's one of the best things a person can do. It's like right at the core of calisthenics is the whole just ability for us to walk. And even if people don't have the capability to walk, because there are people that are wheelchair bound and have disabilities, just even getting outside for some fresh air, just being out there, that's absolutely incredible. As you're mentioning there as well, it's one of the best things we can do, not just for like a physical state, but just for mental well-being and the psychological well-being as well.
That's right. Like a lot of people. What was the one reference? I think it was in that movie, Silence of the Lambs, where people that are in prison, what like over time, one of their biggest wishes is just to have a window. Even just so they can see a bird flying around. Um, but yeah, you notice a huge difference because you're going to absorb the oxygen not only in through your lungs but through your skin. You get that vitamin D from the sun, and so that's something I really miss in the winter.
Yeah, we don't really get snow here. We don't get like a chill even really, which is, there's pros and cons to it. Of course, the fact is that like there's certain trees and plants that we just can't grow because they need certain amounts of chill hours. So yeah,
Where are you located?
in South Africa.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's an interesting place, I guess. I love where you guys are from. I've always been extremely passionate about the United States. and my sister's been over there in Rochester for about 2 decades now. Yeah,
How
and
long? How long were you born there? Or
yeah, I was born and raised in South Africa, but fortunately, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to have traveled. I taught downhill mountain biking in the United States for about 4 years consecutively, and I really enjoyed that quite a lot. And yeah, just love the United States, and I could write a book as to why, exactly why, but I've always been a huge fan of the US. As much as I do love my own country, I'm proud to be from here.
hopefully shit settles down over there. But as with most places, it's the politicians are corrupt as hell.
It is, but because of the hardships, it kind of, it's character molding. It's the best and most optimistic way that I'll try and put it. Yeah.
They're trying to perfect socialism, and they need to go back and listen to Winston Churchill's quotes on socialism.
You are right. There are parties that do believe in that kind of avenue, so you're actually very well informed on that, which is I can respect that.
Yeah, I actually do lots of videos on South Africa. I believe, and I hate to say this because you are South African and it's a beautiful country, but they're the murder capital of the world. About 26 million murder or 26,000 murders a year. Their number one industry is private security. It employs about 3.2 million people, and about 50% of the people are unemployed on social services. And gangs actually just took over a 15-story building, I think, in Johannesburg, and the cops can't get them out.
Yeah, it can be the Wild West in a lot of ways. It really, yeah, there's a lot of stories that I've got, obviously going back from childhood until the age of, I'm 39 now, just about to be 40 at the end of this year. So yeah, I've lived an experience where um, there are definitely pros and cons, absolutely. And when it comes to, I actually live I know I'm saying this for like street cred, you could say it that way, but I live in the ninth most dangerous city in the whole world. So it's
I believe it being in South Africa, bro. I mean, that many numbers of murders. You probably have three of the top 10 murder cities in the world.
yeah, I've lost a couple of people along the way. It's part of, unfortunately, we all have. I can believe that, like, the both of you on the panel and a lot of people in the chat section as well have also, like, lost a lot that aren't with us anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I think that El Salvador might be, surpassing us when it comes to that. That'd be an interesting. We can quickly chat GPT it or Google it, or Grok it, whichever way you want to. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to find out if that's the case. I don't know if it would be.
Oh, I do know. What was it? You said Ecuador? Or
Yes.
Did you say Ecuador or El Salvador?
I think you said El Salvador.
Yeah, Mike was asking about El Salvador. Yeah.
I think that's where we're sending a lot of deportees that we won't keep here in America. I think they're getting sent to that country.
So that is such a hot topic at the moment that, like, I also, yeah, I've got it. I don't know. It's something where I respectfully just kind of hope that everybody is. I know it's such an intense topic, right? Like right now, it's never been such like a polarizing topic to some degree as well. And I think the world is going through so many changes at the moment. Yeah, it's an interesting world, is all I'll say. Yeah.
Well, I this is a point of view no one seems to have wanted to take, but when America cuts back on its budget and everyone says withdraw all these troops from all these countries, you're going to hear a lot more bad things happening when we're not there. Because we're in a lot of those countries to keep people alive.
Yes. I've always used the analogy where I view, like, so a lot of the countries are basically mongoose on the field, and there are snakes all around, and America is the eagle that's been protecting and, keeping the kind of things at bay. And as soon as that eagle flies away, you have the absolute capability for the mongoose to get bit. And I
That's
think
a
that
good
it's
analogy.
yeah, it's I've used it for years. It's really how I feel. Like it's not I didn't read it anywhere or anything. It's just genuinely like how I've seen things. There's a
Mhm.
reason why America's been policing in the way that they have, and as much as people want to question, it's just down to so many things in politics. Obviously, just across the board, there have been a lot of expenditures that have been unwarranted, and there has been a lot of money that's been missing from the American people and the taxpayer. And I think that that is a horrible thing in terms of like and when America leads the way in a couple of fields across the world in different type of verticals. So yeah, that's
Yeah, we just had shitty leadership that fucking made us look bad to the world and did a lot of thieving and bad stuff to lower our moral high ground we had in the 50s and 60s.
you're still America. Don't never forget that. Like
Oh
you're
yeah, no
still
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I always say that we're the only country in the history of the world that, after defeating foreign countries, we did not occupy. We actually rebuild. And I challenge anyone to go back through history and find a country that ever did that. You won't. It's only America.
And the weirdest thing is that it's even telling the truth and basing what your logic and speaking about things that are genuinely facts. Even facts these days, like saying things like that, people it can be polarizing. So I'm always cautious to like speak about politics, but it's such an important thing right now that it's I think it's wrong for us to just keep quiet about as well in certain ways. So these conversations are good.
Any conversation is good as long as it's civil and actual content being brought to the table and not just personal feelings, because you got to take personal feelings out of it when you deal with politics. You're dealing with more than one person. So, say politically, if you're talking about a million people, we ain't got a time in our lives to appease a million people's feelings. Yeah. So you just got to use basic logic across the board.
Yeah, and I think intuition and integrity go a far way in terms of how you deal with yourself, like publicly, and how how you deal with conversations. Your approach, if you are like a compassionate person, and if you are kind for the most part, it really can help a lot. And I'm not just saying this because I'm on a panel. I try to live it as well, 100%. And I think that like just from the way that you guys have been as well. I think that you stick by the same ethos where you just try to be as genuine as possible. And I think now in my older years, now that I'm middle aged, I'm definitely learning. We're always trying to learn and grow and trying to improve us upon ourselves as well.
But I can pride myself in saying anyone who knows me in the chat will tell you, yeah, Neil will always be Neil. I'll tell you how it is. I don't care. I don't
Yeah, you
sugarcoat things.
seem pretty consistent.
I do what I say, and I say what I do.
It's so much better.
Straight. It's so much
Yeah.
easier to do life. It's hard to remember a lie.
That actually reminds me of a Judge Judy quote. She says, "If you tell the truth, you don't need to have a good memory."
Exactly. You can recall it.
I really like that. Yeah.
Or at least anything, right? If you're honest, then everything that you say is going to be true.
Pretty much.
And so if you don't know, if you're not sure, you'll say, I don't really remember. I kind of remember this, kind of remember that. But when everything that you say gets fact checked, it'll all come out. But there was also a psychologist that once told me, he said, JM, everybody lies.
Nowadays, actually, the newest statistic is people tell what a lie, whether it be a white lie or not. Most of it probably a white lie. Every 15 minutes. Even people who don't see themselves as liars tell white lies on average every 15 minutes. And you don't see it as a lie.
Yeah, I've heard that. Heard that as well. Or
I
have it?
try actively not to do that. That's why I piss a lot of people off. Because a lot of people will lie just for the convenience of conversation. And that's just, morally, that's degrading your own self. Because once you start doing that, you can't not expect others to. Now, how can you make an honest decision on things that you've heard, because you don't know if they lied or not?
Well, and I think it's kind of normal and natural. Like I think young children are famous for lying, to get what they want. Um, so I think like being honest and sincere as a regular habit is something that you actually have to work at.
You do.
It's very very easy to just kind of fudge the truth a bit or embellish a little bit. You know,
But see, the great thing about the human brain is it's the most powerful computer on this planet. And guess who programs it? You do. Now, if you choose to sit in front of a computer or your phone and look at it all day and allow it to program you, that's your choice. But your brain, dude, there is nothing. There's no supercomputer out there as good as your. They're trying. How long we've been on this planet? They're just now trying to get something close to us called AI, and it's not even close. It never will be, because it just doesn't have everything that we have. It's artificial. We're not. That's one big difference. That your brain is the most sophisticated computer out there. If you understand that and figure out exactly how to program yourself, and it's very, very easy, actually, you can do a lot of things.
it's true. And not only can you program your own mind, but if you're not careful, really, really
Or if you're
careful,
evil.
other people can program your mind too. Quite easily.
Oh, I was thinking another way. You can program other people's minds.
Well,
Actually, the saying I use is actually using that psychology, JM. When I say, what's my saying? By silver, platinum, crystallized osmium. How many how many years have you heard that?
yeah, that's repetition. Hey, Sarah, good to see Sarah as well.
That's exactly it. And that's how you program a computer, your own computer, a human computer. If you say it, write it, and read it 6 times, you will innately pick up doing it, because that's how you program your brain.
It's a big part of it.
Just keep doing that, like until you pick up whatever trait you want to pick up or whatever knowledge you want to pick up. Just write it down, read it, and read it aloud so you can hear it said 6 times before you go to bed. Eventually, it'll happen for you innately, because your brain will figure out a way to make it happen.
I believe that there are so many things along that level of psychology and down that path that a person can do to, like, control their almost subconscious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many things we've lost. If you go back, and that's why I don't study just one. And I want to qualify this. Okay, I'm spiritual. I'm a Christian, but I've studied religions for which Christianity is a religion. And in previous religions that were prominent before Christianity and Judaism came around, there was this other religions of Buddhism and Hinduism, and their teachings say that the humans, like right now, we only have 7 senses, sight, smell, touch, hear, all this other stuff. Well, theirs say we have up to 34. And through ignorance of not passing down knowledge or whatever, I believe probably technology is going to have a lot to do with us losing a lot of our senses. But we have 34. And then if you want to get actually religious on it, they're called chakra, I believe, in their belief system. You got like 34 chakra or something like that throughout your body. I could be using the wrong words.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I studied Buddhism, but I do know they had over 34 human senses, and levitation was one of them. They had their little gurus that could levitate.
Well, the 5 or 7
Yeah, but-
senses, the traditional ones were physical senses. And I think what you're getting at is that many of the others are psychological or
Well, no, even the visual spectrum. We could, if we trained our brains, we could see in a different spectrum as well. We just haven't trained our brains to, because if you look at again, religion, Christianity, we are made of God. He is everything. So therefore, a cat's eyes are also, there's something of our eyes in them. So and they see things that we don't. So we could feasibly train ourselves to see things. We just haven't looked at doing that. So we write it off as saying it can't be done. And I say, well, have you tried it? No one's put any science into it. They just say it can't be done. I'm like, okay, that's the beginning part of ignorance.
There's a lot to that. I think that yeah, um, I think we are sort of at the same time simultaneously. I think we are losing our connection to nature in some ways, and that kind of
Yep.
separates us from having that capability as well. You know, and to think creatively into the topics that you're talking about. I wish more people spoke about that exact topic.
Come to my show, brother. I don't get views because I talk about shit like this.
It's very interesting, and I think that we should always be open to growing and to understanding different levels of our capacity as human beings. I think that if you look at where people were and the way our thoughts were, and you know, even a century or 2 centuries ago, the dynamic of it has changed entirely. If you're looking at like 2025,
You know what else has changed?
no,
You know what else has physically
what,
changed in that
what
time
the,
period? The wearing of shoes.
Right?
yeah,
Lost our connection to the earth.
yeah,
There is
absolutely.
there is a connection there because I've been studying lightning, and hopefully later this year I'll come out with a channel that'll blow y'all's mind. But I've been studying lightning, and I've determined through videos and also science has determined, and here just recently, past 5 or 10 years, they determined this: lightning doesn't start in the clouds. There's a positive and negative energy, and they caught it on video where the first 20 foot of a lightning is the negative energy of the earth shooting upwards, and then you see this bright flash of light. But before the bright flash of light, you see this string of something hitting that bluish thing that's the negative energy. And as soon as they touch, that's when the lightning occurs and the bang. So how lightning is created is negative energy shooting out of the earth. So if we're wearing shoes or standing on asphalt or concrete all the time, hold on a second. How many millennia has that been a thing? Yeah, just recently.
I think
Past 100, 150 years.
the moccasins, a lot of indigenous.
Yeah, you took them off though, and you walked barefoot. You didn't wear moccasins everywhere, and you didn't walk on asphalt because back when you were wearing moccasins, you didn't have asphalt. Yeah. We've lost the connections, and it's a small, subtle one. I'm not saying it's a life-changing one, but we were talking about senses and losing senses, and part of that is disconnecting, and disconnecting is physical separation of you and the earth, which is the sole of the boot or a shoe. And that's a physical separation of the natural energies, frequencies, and vibrations, for which even Tesla talked about. And you can't connect to frequencies, vibrations, and energies if you've got a fucking blockage there,
So that goes even deeper when you look at the ability that we have to pick up our dopamine release and the chemical receptors as well. The chemicals that are released when we put our hands into soil. That's a similar type of effect, as well as earthing yourself. There's proven fact that when we dig in soil, so if we're doing like light gardening or something, and we just play with soil as well, dopamine release. Something that I find also like really interesting along the same like paradigm, like the same type of thinking, really is that when you see any fruit on a fruit tree, because of our original hunter-gatherers type of ways, what we do is when we see fruit on a tree, it releases that certain level of dopamine. And even if you see the same fruit on the same tree day after day, it still doesn't have like diminishing returns. It doesn't have a nullifying effect at all. It consistently provides the same level of dopamine release. That's why I'm always advocating for people to plant like at least 1 or 2 small fruit trees, even if it's a little lemon tree. The impact that can have on a person is rather significant. And then you speak about grounding yourself. Absolutely. Like, I believe that we should do that as much as possible. And then just digging your hands in the soil, it's really beneficial to a person's like psyche,
There's even the science goes further than that. They suggest that the old folks stay active, and they've found studies that people who garden and who plant crops actually keep their memory longer because they're always planning for the next season. So they're always using that part of their brain. So there's a lot more to it than just actual connection. It's actually a physical something that happens inside your brain when you garden.
I love that. Actually, that's such a useful piece of information that I'll definitely repeat, and I'll look into that a bit more as well.
Oh, here's another one. The sound of bees. And the reason why I know so much about bees, I didn't know it at the time, But they've done studies, and the sound of bees actually helps with certain types of PTSD for guys going back from war.
Wild.
It's sound therapy.
I didn't know that. But I can definitely appreciate what you're saying about, like, even, a lemon tree or like anything. It's weird this time of year in the spring. I'm near Toronto. One of the things I look forward to the most is seeing all the tulips coming up. Um, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, the blooming season as well. As we're heading right into our autumn, and you guys are going into spring, it's definitely nice to start seeing everything like coming alive in the beginning of the spring. Like specifically, um, I've been doing like permaculture for a couple of years, and I really like the whole idea of setting up food forests and that. And so spring is a really, really special time. Even when you're speaking about those tulips as well coming up, it's one of the most beautiful flowers. And just to take the time to really appreciate it, And I'm not,
Do you know
yeah,
about
I love it.
Do you know about the microalgae and microfungi network in the soil that connects the plants that are symbiotic to help each other out?
Mycelium, yeah, I love it. It's really cool. Like
Yeah.
it's so fascinating to know that they talk to each other like that.
Well, they don't only talk; they actually share resources if they're symbiotic plants. Like I found out through I add Azospirillum micros to the root system of my when I plant my plants, and I plant symbiotic plants around them so they can share resources. So, for example, my marijuana plant and a tomato plant and a canisula lily are all symbiotic, and I'll put micros and Azospirillum, I think is what it's called, on the root system so they can connect with the microfungi network. And the tomato plant like pulls water out of the air, and because they're all hooked up, it'll share that resource with the other two plants. And the canisula like pulls another chemical out of the air and shares the so I don't have to use chemicals because the natural plants share their excess with each other through the fungi network that they're hooked up to. And if you get symbiotic plants, you'll never have to hardly water or use fertilizers. And your bugs or pests won't be as bad either.
Because of the diversity, yeah. That these.
Yeah, and the diversity is, and that's why I say you look for symbiotic plants. And I was going to say you got to watch for, because I mean I never suspected that a weed plant would be symbiotic with a canis lily or a tomato, but they are. But then you come to that diversity, and you got to think, well, it's obviously natural that they would be in a scenario where diversity is king, basically, in the natural world. Anyway.
But also, so I try to listen to a lot of gardening and outdoor and hiking, camping, food forest, permaculture podcasts. So I'm always listening to different podcasts as well on this topic specifically. And there's just so much great information that's out there when it comes to our capability to just learn from one another. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about it being 2025 is the ease of access of information as well between one another. And how these are amazing flowers, by the way. That looks so good. And then the mulching around those flowers is really nice as well. They definitely looked after that when it came to like the proper mulching, because mulch is so important.
Yep.
You can tell you live up north if you have tulips growing on the side.
If you have tulips, what?
Growing outside just frequently like that. If they didn't grow naturally like that, people like in the southeast of America, they are very protective of their tulips because you have to put so much time to make them grow. You wouldn't sit them out there where a dog could do that.
Yeah.
You only do that if they grow naturally.
I've got the volume turned down on the video, but right before he did that, I'm like, Theo, you're not allowed to wreck everyone's plants, eh? And he kind of looks at me, and then he goes in and pees on them.
Yeah, piss on them.
Yeah. This was kind of near the beginning of the walk, and so that's when they're most likely to be a little bit.
Well, you've also got to understand that, like, even in nature, no matter where it was, like, you'd still see animals interacting with plants in the same way. So it's all part of the same system.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. I've actually done research when I was doing my bees. I was supposed to deploy my mobile apiary system down in Zambia, and I got into elephants. And there's a connection between bees and elephants. with you, and that's how I came up with the mobile elephant fencing system that I still need to deploy, because it turns out that even for any creature on this planet, even humans, one bee sting inside your ear canal will kill you. Imagine how big an elephant's ear canal is. So if they hear the sound of a bee from about 40 yards away, even if they're at a dead charge, they will stop, turn around, and run. And I actually had a video. It was on my other computer. I got to get it off the hard drive. But I gave this guy what was that, tape of bee sound, and I sent it to him because down in Zambia they didn't have like CDs and shit like that in this little village he was in. And he stuck it in there. All it was bee sound. So he went out and he kept it for him for a couple of days. And he found some agitated elephants one day. So he agitated them a little bit more and had his buddy filming it. And he turned it. As you can see, the if you ever saw the video, his buddy was definitely backing up as the elephant dominant male was charging this guy.
Yep.
And he held up his hand with the tape recorder and turned it on. And I've never seen an elephant stop so fast and look confused and turn around and run the other way, and all it was the sound of bees.
Yeah, so they know that it's passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, it's inherited, but from one species to another, as he was talking about, that the elephant species knows that the bee is not to be messed with, and they don't need to get stung for that to be proven.
I wonder if you
just know. Sorry,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm finished.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I wonder if a recording would work.
Yeah, it does. That's where, because in Zimbabwe, you can kill elephants. On the other side of the Zambezi River in Zambia, you cannot. And they're actually looking to be a tourist destination, international tourist destination, and they want to keep their elephants. But their elephants migrate through the Zambia River into Zimbabwe, and only half of them come back. So they've been looking for a way to like put up some sort of a system that'll prevent the elephants from going past the Zambezi River into an area where they're unprotected and get killed. So I developed that. All you need is now what they do have down there is theft, and people will steal it. So it's like a 12-foot pole, put 3 foot in the ground, so it's 9 foot high. It's got a small solar panel run to a small speaker that has a motion sensor that the size of a van. Because elephants are kind of big, and that's all it is. And you put those out every 100 yards or so, and as soon as elephant comes within range and it goes off, they'll turn around, and it's not that expensive at all. But they're a poor country. They don't have the people to do that kind of shit in their country. I could probably talk them into it because there's been some studies I could bring up, and like the EU did a study back in 2012 that their country, because their third largest sales for GDP is honey production. But because of the way they do their beekeeping techniques, they don't get a lot of money for their honey because of the production techniques they use, and they don't take maximum advantage of the land. And that's also why I created the mobile apiary system, because they can increase their production of honey. Was it like 3 times as much, and also get rid of all the problems they're having with the production issues to where they can get maximum dollar for the honey. And it could increase their GDP by like 20% if I get my product down there. And that's all studies that have been done by the EU back in 2012. I just haven't got the money to go down there, or the time to deal with a foreign government and convince them what's good for them.
Just switch the topic
really quick.
Wanted to switch the topic really quick here. Hold on, guys. Those dogs, this is just a video from last spring. And for anyone that doesn't know, I do dog walking and dog sitting for a living. So there's about 150 different dogs if you go through all my videos. So that was just 3 of them. It was nice with the tulips and everything. And now this is a street that's lined with crabapple trees. Go ahead, guys. Thanks for that.
That's a beautiful street.
Yeah, that's nice. That is so nice. That's actually, like, in the food forest, what I'm planning to do with the peach trees, because I've got a couple of new peach trees as well, and I'm wanting to like make a similar effect to that. But honestly, crabapple, that pink is amazing. I love that so much.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. That's a nice little neighborhood they got going there. And you can tell it's a neighborhood too, because it changes as soon as you leave that planned neighborhood.
Yeah, it's neat. Like a lot of these are like the old wartime houses.
Uh-huh.
You know, like 700 square foot main level, 500 square foot up.
You can tell by the age of the tree that that neighborhood's been there for about 60 years.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt your conversation there. I just wanted to address that in the chat. It was easier.
No, this is definitely,
That's a beautiful thing to see.
yeah, it is. It really is incredible. It's just like so. It looks so pristine. I really like it.
Well, it was definitely planned. It was definitely a planned community. It was a good builder developer that planned that thing out.
Yeah. The houses, they're really close together though, right? Like maybe
And that's where he made his money.
that's true.
You only get a 20-acre development. You squeeze the houses in, man. Make it look pretty so you can sell it to city council. Bang! You got yourself a contract.
I'm just looking at the Petunia comments as well, like the stream of Petunia comments, and it's really it's only now in like the last while that I started to work for the plant nursery where I had to learn a large amount of the different Latin names for some of the plants and plant identification as well. Even though there's like apps for it as well, which can assist, but it's so much better to be able to know exactly like what plants can be used for, different purposes and coloration as well.
Yeah. If you hear a funny noise in the background, that's just Neil
Neil Gagnon.
medicating.
That was one hell of a. Yeah, natural medicine. There's a lot to it, bro. A lot to natural medicine.
So much better than alcohol.
Well, natural medicine's been around forever. It was only sort of made illegal in like 1908-ish here in America, when Vanderbilt's personal lawyer wrote the theory or the book on what is a doctor, and he wrote it out and sent it to college, and they accepted. Okay, that's the definition of what a modern day doctor is, and part of his definition was no. It had to be a chronic disease. It was like no natural medicine. Medicine is not definite. And then Vanderbilt started building hospitals and got into insurance policy and then pharmaceuticals. So you can see how the medical field has gone since 1908. It's been controlled. It's not real medicine. I mean, they come up with great discoveries, but it's at great expense.
I think that, even with, except for some of the chemicals things that are out there, because I'm very much opposed to that. But as far as it goes to like even, having a drink or two or, herbal medication, to put it that way, I think that everything that in moderation is where it's at as well. Oh, yeah, look at the squirrel. That's awesome.
Well, here's something about weed that no one knows about. It's called cannabis sativus. It's a cannabinoid. And do you know that everyone who can hear my voice in your body, in your brain, at the back lower part, around where your spine nerve cords go into your brain, you have this part of your brain that has the exact receptacle for cannabinoids. So you were developed to either ingest or smoke weed. The body says so.
Sometimes it definitely feels that way.
You got the exact receptors in the back of your brain to accept cannabinoids. So it's a biological thing. None of us made a law to make it happen. It's natural. It's in our system. So, if you think it's wrong, cool. Then your body's wrong. I say the law's wrong because I don't think God made my body wrong or anyone else's. And since we all have them, I think the law is wrong. But we're not allowed to dictate logic in court if there's money to be made by making it illegal and throwing people in jail.
Yeah, that's actually something where um, it's such a good point of view to like see why certain like laws have been passed and why
Oh
they
yeah, it's
have
for
been things.
control. The reason
Yeah,
why they made weed illegal is because too many Mexicans and blacks were smoking it in the 50s and 60s, and they were getting too much power. So and they were smoking it recreationally. So the Democratic Party down in the South, the Jim Crow laws, went ahead and pushed federally to make it a Schedule One narcotic, making it illegal, so that they could. It was a prejudicial law. Is the whole reason why it was passed, in my opinion. If you go back and study the whole scenario of the time period that it was passed, the reasons why they used, and you look at all the documentation, you probably come up with a similar thought process. And it's been made so much money keeping it illegal that, you know, there's so we wouldn't need to import, we wouldn't need to cut down any trees if we used cannabis plant for our wood industry. And it's a better product wood. They've already got studies on this. Bugs don't penetrate it. Termites don't eat it. It's stronger than most natural woods that are cheap used for building now. It's stronger than those natural woods. Uh, uh, doesn't have what is it? It's called molds and mildews don't grow in it. It's such a better product, and we could grow it, a forest of it, every 9 months. It's what do you call that? A renewable resource, and yet we still have it as illegal. I mean, it could change our whole economy, literally. And then you look at the old use cases of cannabis oils. Now you go look at some of these guys.
I think it's a good way of things.
Go ahead.
They just want to control it, right?
That's
First,
exactly
that's
it.
how, when they really want to control something, they just make it illegal
Yep.
to begin with, and then they say, oh, now you have to license it or whatever.
And now we
They
go
do
back
it every
to
time.
even more natural medicine. They made the Gershwin Institute illegal. Dr. Max Gershwin showed up in Congress with 4 patients that other doctors diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And Dr. Max Gershwin was in Congress testifying with those 4 patients because he cured all 4 of them of stage 4 cancer. And the Congress came up with a bill they were going to pass up until the point the lobbyists of the health and insurance companies got and threw some money around. And then they said, nah, we'll shelve this bill and make it illegal for natural and holistic medicine. And no one knows about Max Gershwin now, but it was back in 1945. You ought to research him. Don't listen to Wikipedia. Wikipedia lies. But the institute is in Tijuana now because it's illegal to cure people of cancer in America. So they had to move their whole operation to Mexico, just so the health industry and the insurance companies could keep making money off us dying.
Yeah, pretty much everything's rigged, from what I can tell.
Unless you know the truth, but then again, you might get a strike because I just told you guys the truth. I'm sorry, Dan.
Well, as long as I don't get one too.
You're the one that's going to get one, bro.
You know, I don't mind being a crash test pilot once in a while, but
I've done holistic, man. With the 30 years, excuse me. It's the way to go.
Are you familiar with Sutherlandia?
With Sutherlandia?
Yes.
It depends on what context.
So Sutherlandia, fruity sense, when you're speaking about, cancer and it's obviously such a terrible thing, but it's there is a fantastic herbal remedy as well when it comes to something that is a pretty great cure, which is they call it there's another name for it which is called directly the cancer bush, but it's also called, the Latin name is Sutherlandia frutescens. So it's spelled, you can type Sutherlandia plant and it'll probably bring it up for you if you got, when you guys have time and stuff. So it's Sutherland. So it's IA.
You know what my mom's maiden name is?
Really?
You just spelled it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my mom's maiden name is Mary Sutherland. So yeah, I'll remember. That's not a problem, bro. I was giggling the whole time you said Sutherlandia. That's why I asked in what context.
Oh, no. I don't have any insider information on anybody here. Don't worry.
Oh, that's why I said in what context, because I do know about Sutherland and what's Sutherlandia.
Yes, Sutherlandia. Yeah. Are those flowers there salvia? I think some of them. Oh, no. And it looks like hydrangea, but it wasn't.
Oh hell, I can't tell what those are.
I honestly don't know what most of these are. I'm not good at naming plants
Neither am I.
for the most part. But tulips, roses,
Well, I wasn't before I
uh,
had to do so for a
all the
profession.
basics.
Like,
But
I wasn't before I had to do so for work, really. So I completely get it.
yeah.
Tales told in the
And
dark.
this is
So,
actually like, this is a massive garden. It actually covers probably almost 2 acres.
yep, planned community. The city takes care of that. It's on the outside of the privacy fences. It's probably listed as a G2, what do you call that, area where the public takes care of the property, but it's used for open floral planting and tree planting around neighborhoods. I know about that because I was looking for areas to stick bees around here, and I couldn't stick it on public property, but I could stick it on. It's like greenways is what it's called. It's a legal term, that whole thing. And I was allowed to stick them on
Easement. I
greenways.
think an easement. Take care, Emerald.
Hey, later on, Emerald. I'm not sure. I don't recall what the name is. Yeah, around here, they got it named something else, and there's lots of areas. They've got special maps of what areas are public utility land, public lands, city operated land. There's so many breakdowns for tax reasons. And I had to go through all that shit to find out where I could stick my beehives. And then I had to contact the officials of whatever agency controlled that part of the land. It's fucking ridiculous. But I learned a lot.
Hey guys, I got to take a quick break and grab another club soda here. I'll be back.
Yeah, cottonmouth sucks, dude.
You know what that is? Out there is a chimnea. Take two.
Fat goose.
Where did my full screen view go? There we go.
It still looks like a fat goose.
Yeah, it looks silly. The opening is kind of facing the far side there.
That other one on the right looks like an owl.
On the right is a stump with a. It's
Looks
an
like
old
an owl.
beat up stump with a little birdhouse on it.
Looks like an owl from my perspective. And then the other one looks like a goose, fat goose.
Yeah.
The three-legged fat goose. It's been around radiation too long.
Here we go. Okay, I'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes.
No problem.
Do you want some music on in the background, or are you guys good just chatting?
We're cool with chatting, I guess. How about you? How do you feel, Garden?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm just happy to speak for a bit. And then when you are back, though, it's like a couple minutes before midnight here. And when you do get back, though, I'll definitely hang around until then. But when you get back, I will say, I'll say goodbye for now.
Okay, that's very cool of you. If you do end up having to go, I understand. It's been really nice meeting you, and very, very cool. I'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes.
All right, chat to you now.
Now, for anyone that knows me, they're not going to be surprised with me asking this. What do you know about the platinum industry in South Africa?
So I actually, not to give too much away, but that looks good. That looks pretty good. Looks tasty. So I actually work. It's funny that you should say so.
Yeah.
So
Work for Impala or Americano?
So I don't work directly for any of the mining groups, but what we
Okay.
do is I work within the safety. One of my jobs, because I have 3 of them, unfortunately, to keep our heads above water, we've got to try and diversify our time into different kind of, trades.
Yeah.
And one of my jobs is that I work within the corporate field, and I've done so for the last 2 decades, where I've worked in safety, so essentially risk management, without giving too much away.
Yeah. So going 2,200 meters down, you probably have something to do with that.
Yeah, it's it's a big part of it. Yeah, there's a couple of the
You don't have to tell me,
mining.
man.
Yeah,
I know,
there's a
I know
couple
more.
of
I probably know as much about. I probably know as close to as much as you as what's going on in those mines, but I definitely know a lot about what's going on internationally with platinum. I'm very, very interested in platinum.
You should be.
Hmm. Everyone should be. It's a very needed mineral, precious metal, and all the platinum group metals, except for rhodium, usually run in line with it. Anyhow, you get your, or excuse me, not rhodium. Palladium. Palladium has their own veins, but usually you get rhodium, iridium, and osmium out of platinum veins. And all those are also needed components. You hear about clean air metals?
Uh, I don't know too much about it, but I do have a light understanding, I'd say.
Yeah, it's mining platinum vein in Thunder Bay, Canada. They're going to be pulling the bulk ore sample mid spring, sometime around mid to late Q2. And then they're going to go direct mining for platinum, and it'll be the only other platinum mine in the world other than the ones you guys got in South Africa and that nickel company in Russia that came across the low platinum. It's going to change the dynamics of the platinum industry.
Just to, I think that if you are watching that closely, you'll be quite interested to see how technology is going to be changing that within this year as well. Some of the
Oh,
technologies are out there. And just to quickly, so the temperature right now, just to read up answer the chat, it's just struck midnight, and it's very warm here. Like we have very much subtropical type of weather, so we have the ability to, like I'm sitting here in shorts, because it's just
sweet.
ridiculously hot, like in the middle of the night. And we just always have amazing weather. It's one of the best, um, it's definitely one of the best types of climates that you get. Our micro, our microclimate here specifically is incredible for permaculture. And it's like, that's why I was mentioning earlier that I really enjoy food forests. And I set up I've got about 70 something, not to like, I'm not a collector, but I've got more than 70 species specifically so that there's that diversity that you guys were talking about earlier when it comes to the garden, to control like pests and disease as well, to make sure that we do have different timing of some of the fruit trees. Because if you time them correctly amongst the specific species, you can get it so that you've got more of an annual, all year round, consistent supply of at least something productive coming out of the garden, and then everything just kind of working together quite well as well. So yeah, it's humid to a degree. I do a lot of hiking, so we have a lot of humidity out there on the trails in certain areas, but for the most part, within a lot of the residential areas, not too humid. No, it would be humid in KwaZulu-Natal, which is like Durban area, which is quite far east of where I am along the coast, up along the coast. But yeah, just where I am locally, not really.
I like microclimates. Means you got mountains.
Yeah, we do absolutely. Yeah, we. I can't give too much away, because if I start speaking about like exactly the
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of terrain,
yeah.
we've got a very specific terrain exactly where I am, and I'm very fortunate for that because it's
What
nature,
you got?
nature's all around me.
Have you thought about your food forest? There's this show, this documentary. I watched this guy. It was a 7-year program he did somewhere up here in Sonoma County. He died of cancer before it was finished. It was like a 60 or 80 acre place, and they were trying to do a whole food forest thing, and they had to get a balance of the critters in the area. In other words, like they had a problem of snails, so they didn't want to use pesticides or whatnot. So they got this guy who had lots of geese, a geese flock, and they'd come in, and in over a 7-year period, they were able to get enough of a balance because you're creating excuse me, I'm hiccuping. You're creating an ecosystem in an area where there was not that ecosystem, and usually the insects and bugs and stuff like that in that wherever climate area you're at, that you're creating this new ecosystem, you're going to have that issue for about 7 years, and you're going to have to work out different ways to figure out how to do that. And there's this guy, oh man, I wish I could remember the show. It was like an hour and a half documentary on how they did it, and they did it year by year and the issues they had. And it was like year 3 is when they had the insect issue with the snails, because the environment they were making wasn't natural for snails, so the snails all liked the area they were creating, so they got overwhelmed with snails. And then they went through the whole process. It took like 7 years to figure out the balance of that ecosystem in that area. But it's a successful food forest farm to this day. So just consider that when you're doing your food forest. Look to that if you get certain pesticides or pests or bugs. There's a balance that you can get with that. You just got to work through it.
Yeah, I think it's a constant evolving, something that's, always just trying to adapt and evolve, and that's actually just that is good information.
It gets balanced after about 7 to 10 years, though. It'll balance out in the area you're at if you manage it properly, and it'll last long after you're gone.
That's one of the ideas as well, is to just have that self-reliance and self-sustainability, like when it comes to the way the garden operates, that it's the whole permaculture, the capability for it to also look after itself. But it'll be interesting to see how that really grows together. I have in the space of about 1.5 to 2 years, I really converted. It's hard to kind of do the exact measurements, but I converted like a small to medium size, I'd say medium sized backyard into like a full-on food forest where everything is still young. So all the plants are spraying up together and all the smaller trees. And I did like a ton of research just to make sure that I was doing it properly. And I've always been into plants, like it's something that I've always absolutely loved. I found that myself personally, I don't speak too much publicly about religion, but what I will say is I found an enormous amount of faith and hope within the forests and within the mountains, as we were speaking there within the chat section. So yeah, it's really quite a beautiful thing when you just realize, that when you're looking at everything, there's absolutely no possible way whatsoever that there wasn't some sort of designer behind it, and a person can just be mindful of that. I'll never be preachy though. Like I think that it's important to walk a walk of faith and walk, it is more of a personal walk. That's my honest, open point of view. But I do like hearing about other people's and hearing sometimes of their, if you want to call it in different religions, but if you hear their testimony and you understand some of the things that have brought people to the positioning that they are. But even somebody that is, agnostic or atheist, I have equally as much time for them to just to understand from their point of view as well, and get into deep conversations, because I think that if you keep, around with people who are kind of yes manning you and that type of thing too. It's amazing that you live near a volcano, Mark Herrera. That would freak me out all the time, by the way. Yeah, right. So yeah, yes, I actually did know, and rest in peace as well, by the way, Cheryl. To Ron, it's definitely. I knew more of him, and I popped around a couple of times, but that group, Rescue is an amazing person, and I know that that everybody loved Ron. He made everybody had a great time whenever he was around. So I speak fondly of him as well, and I know that a lot of people do miss him. Just answering to Cheryl Rich in the chat section over there.
Yeah, and I didn't really get to know him either. I think I had maybe just sort of been starting to get introduced to him, but that's where I met a lot of the people that I know on YouTube now too. And the whole crew that was there, right?
It's one of the most down-to-earth groups that I've ever come across, and I know that there's a lot of history there as well between the friendships that are there, and it's a place where, because of the type of community it is, I think people are just so straightforward, and I have a lot of time for that, when people don't beat around the bush all the time and they're not too sensitive about things. I think that that matters. I mean, there's going to be drama wherever you go, no matter where it is. It's the internet, but it's so much more straightforward and direct when it comes to, um, in my opinion, from what I've come across. And it's just nice to speak to people that are more into nature and just see it in a very like logical way. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I enjoy that sort of thing too, and I fully appreciate having a good conversation. There can be a fine line between getting into a debate and just sharing information. Um, yeah, I definitely try to stay open minded, but I'm definitely in line with you. Like all you got to do is go out into the mountains or go out into nature, and it's pretty tough to deny God.
Yeah, speaking of which, smartest man in the world can prove he exists, and he can sit down and tell you exactly how you should realize that he exists as well if you just use general thought processes.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I sat down with I watched the interview. It was like, wow, I like this guy more now, and he logically explained out how you cannot believe, how you can not believe. If you have consciousness, you have to believe in God. And it's just your denial that's leading you down the path. It's not that he doesn't exist, it's your denial.
Yeah. I put this on full screen because our neighbor over that way literally has about 25 bird feeders charged throughout the winter, and the amount of birds over there is incredible. But I think the camera's just not picking a lot of them up.
Yeah, you need the condors or the eagles, some big birds.
Yeah, most of these are little ones like
Yeah,
chickadees, little woodpeckers.
I'm seeing the branches move, but that could be wind. I
Yeah,
doubt it though. They're random. Probably little birds landing on them and taking off.
yeah, there's squirrels and whatnot out there too.
So yeah, just quickly before I jump off, I just want to say like thank you so much for having me up on the panel, and yeah, it's just really have yeah, just to quickly respond to something in the chat there. Absolutely, it's one of those things that like you never know when it's your last day, and you should just always appreciate the people that are around you. It's it's a life that is rather interesting, and I'm always fortunate to have these conversations with people that have like a level of depth to them. So thank you for that, and I'll chat to you guys soon. It's good to like you know
Nice speaking with you.
yeah, I'll chat to you guys soon.
It
Bye for
really
now.
was. Yep. Have a great sleep. Yes, he said it was right around midnight
Yeah,
where he's
probably
at.
12:15 his time right now.
South Africa.
South Africa. South Africa. From what was that movie with Danny Glover?
Coming to America.
Lethal Weapon. South Africa. South Africa.
I'm going to switch this camera again because it doesn't seem to be picking up the birds.
Dag nibbity nabbit and birds need to put on some weight. Yeah, you guys need to plan your gardens, man. Keeps you healthy, keeps your brain stimulated, makes you learn stuff of what plants you can plant together, which ones will bloom at what time, so you can have a constant bloom in your garden and it all doesn't bloom in a 1 or 2 month cycle. There's a lot of thinking going on in gardening, along with a lot of nice, pleasant, mind clearing time actually gardening. I was just thinking I'm gonna be stepping down too because I want to go out back and do some gardening. I've been doing a lot of work in my backyard. I'm kind of enjoying it.
Sounds good. Yeah, you can probably see in this camera angle there, the shade is starting to move out to the end of the yard.
Yep.
Sun is starting to go down. about 6:15 here, but I appreciate you coming up as well.
Hey, not a problem. I always enjoy chatting with you, man.
Yeah, it's always good to see you.
Guardian Prepper was cool to have up. He seems like he has an in-depth knowledge of stuff. It was cool talking to him.
Yep. What do you call that? Based. Call him based. And really easy to talk to, too, right? Nice, calm energy.
Yeah, I like him.
So, you're going to do gardening.
Yep. I still have that camera there, too, with all the attachments. It's old school now, but it's still good technology.
Yeah.
That was in San Francisco, by the way.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm stepping down. You have yourself a great night. It was awesome speaking with you, and I'll talk at you later, brother.
Okay, man. Have a good evening.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, that was definitely a ton of fun. We didn't see a whole lot of animals on this camera, but we had a great conversation. Been going almost 2 hours. I think I'll maybe stick around another 10 minutes if anyone has any requests. Now is probably a good time to put them in the chat, or if you want to drop your link or links for anyone else that you want to support, or any of their recent or upcoming content, feel free. I think what I'm going to do is I already did play 2 sort of springtime videos. I think I'll do one more. It won't have quite as many flowers and everything, but still be good. Yeah, there's a good one. We'll share that. There we go. There's no dogs in this, but still pretty cool. Thank you, Cheryl, Chessboard, Mike, Take Two, Indy. Both of my panelists, Guardian Prepping and Neil, Cheryl, everyone else that popped by. Appreciate all of you. Wonder if I should... I'm still getting used to this restream, too. That's kind of a cool... Let's see here. Yeah, there's some great camping. At the very end of this video, you'll see the main, where the sort of clubhouse and the camping area is. This is pretty much, it's about a 40-acre plot of land. I didn't put, I've still got my echo cancellation on, so I wonder if that'll throw it off a bit. I don't know. That's really cool, Mike. Yeah, the with the polar bears. Got to go a little further north than where I'm at. I'm pretty close to the most southern part in Canada. Just a little bit north of. If you took Buffalo, New York, and Detroit, Michigan, two of them, and you went north about 200 miles. That's about where I am. And actually, I'm not liking the idea of the music on that. Oh, I fell way behind in the chat. Here, let's just do this. Oh, we got a motorcycle out there. Oh, I didn't switch it in time. Yeah, I'm too slow on the draw there, aren't I? Anyway, I'll drop the link for this video, so if you guys want to check it out, it's at the end of it. It shows the camping area. And apparently there have been like cougars in the area. Yep, this is the free version. Yeah, I've never paid for StreamYard, Restream, or any of those. And that's that's why the watermark's there. And actually, like, even when you set it up, if you put the thumbnail for the live stream into Restream as it asks you to, it'll even put that watermark in the top right hand corner where it says Restream. It'll even put that in your thumbnail. So if you don't want that there, you got to go back into YouTube and re-upload the same picture again. Mike, did you go to a costume store and get like a Bigfoot costume and then run around? That's kind of a cool version there. Oh, no, I think we're going to get a fire truck coming by. Sounds like it. Let's see if we can get it in the picture on time. There it goes. Just in time. Wow. That was just in the nick of time. Okay, so I'm actually going to stop that. Actually, you know what? I'll just scroll forward to the end so you guys can see it. So you can see the camping area. And then I think I'll pull up one more short video. And close with that. So let's... actually, I'll just put that full screen for the end. So off to the right of this road, that's all still the same property. It's just there's two separate entrances to the same property. Gigi, are you saying we're related to Sasquatch? This is a really cool freaking setup. There you go. So this is where everyone sets up camp together for the most part. There's a nice soccer field off to the right too that this video didn't really show very well, but it's there. Oops. There we go. So that was fun. That was fun. So now it's just a matter of video we want to close with. I know what I'm going to do because I want to see how it shows up on here too. Okay, so almost none of you saw this video, and what it is if you guys ever saw that music video, what it's called The Fox. What Does the Fox Say? I was thinking I wanted to do my own sort of version of that, but this one is, instead of fox, it's pig. So I called it The Pig. What Does the Pig Say? And I just want to get the audio here. And I'm actually even gonna switch my audio settings to increase the chances that the audio comes through properly. Okay, so here we go. I hope you guys enjoy this. It's my fun take on What Does the Fox Say, but it's What Does the Pig Say?
From the moment I awake, my special way to say it's the same every day just comes out this way. Oink, 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 that's my heart's sweet song. Oink, 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 all the whole day long. Oink, oink, oink. At breakfast with Mom, she asks, how's your day? I open my mouth and oink, 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 that's all I can say. Oink, 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 that's my heart's sweet song. Oink, 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 all the whole day long. Oink, oink, oink. Teacher points at me. What's 2 plus 3? Oink, 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 oink. Everyone laughs at me, but that's my special ability. Making new friends at play. They ask my name to say. Try my very best, but oink, 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 they stick around anyway. Oink, 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 that's my heart's sweet song. Oink, 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 the whole day long. Now I've learned to see this voice sets me free. It's my special way to share love is to say. Oink, 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 that's my heart's sweet song. Oink, 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 all the whole day long. Everybody now, oink, 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 one more time. Oink, 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 oink. Oink, oink, oink. Oink, oink, oink. Oinkity! Oink, oink. Oink, oink, oink.
Hope you guys like that. I didn't switch my audio settings, so it may sound a little funny. And I changed my mind. I am actually going to play one more song as the final song. I wanted you guys to hear that one because most people didn't see that. A lot more people did see this one, and I think it's probably my best music video I've done yet. I want to make sure as many people see it as possible. And this is No Brakes on This Ride. And this song is about living every day to its fullest, which I hope everybody does. I'm going to put it on full screen so I won't even appear there, and I'll shut this down when this video is done. Have a great evening, guys. See you soon.
Heart's beating faster every day. Can't feel my feet touch the ground. Breaking limits in every way. This rush keeps coming around.
Foot on the gas, I'm going straight. No time to second guess now. Some call me crazy, that's okay. 'Cause I won't slow it down. Who says I gotta play it safe? Who says I need to wait? When life is racing by so fast, why should I hesitate? No brakes on this ride. I'm taking it all. No brakes on this ride. Living for today.
Red lights turn green in front of me. Universe says go ahead. Breaking free is all I need. Leave doubts behind, I've made my bed. Speed dial life up to the max. Feel my heart explode. No looking back, no need to ask, this is my only road.
Only road. Who says I gotta play it safe? Who says I need to wait? When life is racing by so fast, why should I hesitate?
Slow motion falling, time stops crawling.
Everything's silent, then no brakes on this ride. I'm taking it all the way. No brakes on this ride. Living for today. Ooh, for today.
Push it hard, push it faster, make it faster, make it matter. Life's too short to take it slow. Every second
you go, guys. Let me switch this audio back. There. I think we're better now. Yep. Thank you, Take Two Drum Covers. Good to see you, Rob. It was a beautiful day. Oh, nice. You got a good supper coming. Good to see you too, Mike Herrera. I know you got a burger coming tonight. And Gigi's Unhinged. Everyone else that was in here tonight. Appreciate y'all. And we'll see you soon.